All right, I'm just gonna cut to the chase. If you just give me a few minutes, I'm gonna walk through how I was able to take a channel that was somewhat dead a few years ago and turn it into 7.1 million views and 100,000 subscribers. And how I was able to take that channel and apply what I learned, and which is right here, which we're gonna get to that. And I was able to apply it to this channel, Live Video School, which is a fairly new channel, under 7 months old, and we monetized in under 90 days. And this channel is growing faster than the other channel. So if that sounds interesting, stick around. And as usual, we've got our handy dandy little whiteboard. And if you guys have been watching the channel, you know it's a Blue's Clues reference. My son is 26 and loved Blue's Clues. Anyone else a Blue's Clues fan? Let me know in the comments. All right. So we are going to be covering a lot here on this little whiteboard. And I'm telling you right now, this here is what has helped us get a lot more views. All right. And I've learned this by doing this for over 15 plus years now. And now this most recent channel, Live Video School, and we're testing it there and it's working really well. We need this top half. We need that first. All right. And then from there, we move into the video formula. And then from there, we can talk about how YouTube is going to want to push your videos more than others. Okay. But we need this here done first. So focusing on a niche. I see a lot of people that go, oh, I just want to, just create a channel on entertainment, or I want to create a channel on, my trips here and there and what I'm cooking and things and just random stuff. That's fine. It's going to be really, really hard to get any type of momentum, and also people wanting to come back. All right. When you have a niche, when you're focusing on a niche or nicho, however you want to say it. I say niche because it rhymes with riches are in the niches, and that's how I was taught it, but however you want to say it is cool. But we need to focus on one audience. All right. One audience. So that way there we can come up with what I call my 3 to 4 to 5 buckets. I always start with 3. And what these are different topics. And so once we have these different topics, now what we can do is we can hit it from different angles. All right. So this video is about views. You're probably going to see other videos on this channel about getting views. You're just going to. All right. So that's what we're going to be talking about as far as views for this topic or this bucket. My other channel, Brand Creators, we talk about e-commerce. We talk about Etsy. Okay. So on Etsy, it's about getting traffic. It's about getting more sales, right? It's about ranking higher in the search. Okay. That's topic 1, maybe topic 2, and maybe topic 3. So the first one might be how to get more sales in your Etsy shop. The second topic might be how to get ranked to get more traffic in Etsy. And the third one might be how to get a better return on your Etsy ads. Okay. So that would be 3 different topics and 3 different buckets. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 3 videos about that topic, 3 videos about that topic, and 3 videos about that topic. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back and do another 3 on this topic, another 3 on this topic, and you just hit it from different angles. Okay. And you might say to yourself, well, how do you do that? Perfect example is I'm going to talk about views on this video. Another video, I could probably show you a video that I did that got a lot of views, and I can break it down and tell you why I feel it got a lot of views. See? So I'm just bringing it back to the attention at a different angle. Okay. So that's the first thing. So I would always recommend make sure that your niche, also make sure that it's getting views. Make sure that other people are validating that there's people watching this type of content that you want to create. All right. So there you go. Okay. That's the first part. That's step 1. Okay. Identify your niche. From there, identify the 3 buckets. I'd start with 3. And then from there, I'd branch out, maybe add another one, test one too. I always like to test different topics and see if another one is resonating. And then from there, I can start to fill that bucket. It becomes one of my primary buckets. All right. Once we have that, we have to understand before we even do anything. So I would say find your niche. Okay. Or if you have it, identify it, find your topics, and then think about 3 different videos you can do for each one. But then we have to do this here. And this is the video formula that's going to allow this to happen. That right there, okay? Which basically is YouTube pushing our videos, all right? So let's go ahead and let's talk about this right here in step 2. I'm going to go ahead and fill these in, and then we're going to talk about them. Oh, you don't like that singing? I feel like Steve now. All right, there it is. I filled it in. Title and thumbnails. Super important. Extremely important. If we don't have a good title, YouTube doesn't know who to put it in front of, right? So you see why we need this stuff first, and then we start thinking of titles that could be those videos that are going to fill those buckets. All right, that's what we're doing there. So the title, number one, okay? And let me just say this right now. If you struggle with titles, I've got you. I've got 10 titles that I've compiled in a swipe file. I call it a little swipe file. It's a little guide where I have 10 titles that I break them down that have worked very well for me. And then I give you 3 to 4 different examples on how they can be used in other various niches. And then all you got to do is plug in your niche and give them a try. All right. So if you want a copy of that, just put hooks in the comments and I'll send you a copy. Once again, hooks in the comments and I'll send you a copy. So like I said, this right here, okay? Title and thumbnails, extremely important. Make sure that you are creating titles that are going to attract your audience, but also are going to invoke curiosity, desire, all of those important things. And like I said, you can find that all in that guide. Just put hooks in the comments and I'll send you it. I believe it will help you, okay? A lot. Thumbnails, we want to make sure that those are doing their job too. The thumbnail's job is really to stop the scroll. That's all it's supposed to do, right? You're going to see it and then you're going to look at the title. But the title gets it in front of the people without them even seeing it because it's going to show up in their feed, right? Like this video right now, and I do this a lot on my videos. Let me know right now, how did you discover this video? Did it just pop up in your feed? Did you get a notification because maybe you're a subscriber? Like, how did you discover this video? And probably is because the title called out what you're either interested in or what you are searching for. So always keep that in mind. Title is extremely important, but the thumbnail's job is to grab the attention of curiosity or desire. Okay, so those two are super important. All right, moving on to step number 3. All right, let's go ahead and let's fill these in because there's an I, there's a C, and there's an E. And I probably should say, can you guess those? Maybe I should pause, or maybe you should pause and fill them in the comments and let me know. I'm going to go ahead and fill them in. Let's do that. And just like that, boom, there you go. Here it is. Impressions, clicks or click-through rate, CTR, engagement. Those are the pieces that you need to pay attention to. And I'm going to walk through right now what you're going to look at, when you're going to look at it, to see why you are either not getting as many views as you should, or YouTube's just not pushing you. So the first thing is your impressions. Super important to understand what an impression is. All right. An impression is when your video displays to someone in someone's feed or in a search result or in a suggestion, okay, or a suggested video. If that video, all right, is suggested and it's shown on the screen, even though you don't click on it, even though you don't even see it, it's an impression, okay? But let's just, for making it super easy to understand, if you're on your phone and you're scrolling and you scroll past a thumbnail, that's an impression, okay? Now, the clicks, that's where you're going to get your views. So that's why, like we said, the title is going to get you impressions. The clicks or the click-through rate is going to give you the views. All right? So you see how that works? Really important. That's why title, super important. Thumbnails, super important. But I would argue title is the most important because without you showing up in someone's feed or someone's homepage or a suggested video, you got no chance to get a view, right? All right, so very important. We understand impressions. I'm going to share something with you here in a second that if you're not getting views on a video that's like a week or two old or even longer, we want to look at this, and I'll break that down here in a second in the order that I would break down and analyze a video, okay? So, click-through rate, all right? We want to look at that. If we are getting below, I would say right out of the gate, if we're getting below an 8%, then our thumbnail's not doing a good job. We might want to play around with changing that. I'm a fan of split testing and doing some A/B testing. So you basically create two different versions, you upload them into YouTube. YouTube has that built in now to our dashboard or into our account. We can use that. I'm a huge fan of that. All right. And generally, if you're pushing it out to your subscribers, you're going to get a higher click-through rate. And when it starts to send it out to more, when it starts to push it to more audiences, that's when this will go down. And that's okay. For me, if I have a video that's got over 500,000 impressions and it's went down to a 4%, I'm okay with that because I know that that's a broad audience and that's still pretty good. But if it was 4% out of the gate, when it got like maybe 2,000 or 3,000 impressions, that's where I would be concerned. All right. Engagement. The reason why that's important because YouTube says it, that they are not just looking at click-through rate. People think that if you get a higher click-through rate, you're going to, they're going to want to push your video. No, they want to push it that if they display your thumbnail and your video, you get clicks, that's good. But they want to know how long are people sticking around, right? Because when they do their A/B split testing, they're looking at these two things right here. They're not looking at just the clicks. They're looking at click-through rate and engagement. How long do they stay to watch the video? That's what they're looking at. And those two things combined are what's going to signal the algorithm to say, hey, give it more impressions. Find new audiences that this might interest. Okay? And that's the order of operations. That's how it works. So I would take this right now. Take a screenshot if you want. I'll hold. Okay? So take that screenshot and go through this, all right? And understand that you have to start here. Then from here, we have to have our video formula. And then from there, we have to basically get YouTube to want to push our videos. But like I said, none of this is going to work if we don't have what? A good title. And I actually shot a video right here where I'm going over those 10 titles that I talked about earlier, and I break them down and I share with you exactly how to adapt them to just about any niche. Watch that video next, and I'll see you there.